It's really nice to meet you. My name is Hayden Morell, and I'm very excited to come in and interview for your school's math confidence coach position. My role in this position would be to coach individual students who suffer from a combination of math anxiety and severe math deficits by helping them build concrete connections between their own interest and course content in math. Students under my caseload would meet with me for a set amount of time each week and receive targeted instruction tailored for their greatest area of need. By working with students in these sessions, my goal will be to build their confidence as doers of mathematics while also growing their conceptual foundation in math through making connections to something they're genuinely interested in. And I would start off these sessions by having students reflect on their experiences in their math classes. I'd ask questions like, what stresses you out in your math class? What is something that your math teacher has done in class that really made sense to you? What is something outside of academics that really interests you? And from there, I can talk with their teacher about where specifically in math they're struggling and develop a series of activities and lessons in conjunction with the UDL model of having multiple ways of representing material and having multiple ways of having students express their understanding of that material. And I think that by rooting these activities and lessons in an area that students are interested in, I can create immediate engagement with students while also giving them opportunities to bring in their own prior knowledge of their area of interest and develop more robust and deeper connections between their understanding and course content. For instance, I might have a student who severely struggles in geometry but is really interested in construction. I might plan a series of activities and lessons where we create a rectangle model in woodshop and use it as a physical manipulative for understanding geometry theorems. So, as a way of assessing their understanding, I might have a student reflect on, hey, what decisions did you make when you made that model? And then communicate their learning by writing down their thought process or verbally communicating it to me. And I think by shifting the instruction to an area that the student is passionate about, they have the opportunity to be the instructor due to their relative expertise in the area. And I think this leads to them building their confidence in doing mathematics while also being able to build real-world connections to course content. So I think conducting instruction and assessments in this way really helps to foster the development of different areas of intelligences that a student might have that are different from those that are typically focused on in math classes like logic. And I think I'm the most qualified candidate for this position because of my areas of strength when it comes to different types of intelligences. My specific areas of strength are logic, language, and the self. And as part of my background as a math teacher for the past 4 years, one of my biggest skills is in taking the abstract and being able to organize it and quantify it with rules and symbols, and then being able to make a sentence or a phrase that delivers that concept to a diverse audience of high school students. So as someone who is really aware of my own fears and stressors when it comes to learning math, I feel qualified to work with individual students on addressing and conquering their own fears when it comes to learning. When I was in high school math classes, the primary focus was learning how to problem solve and use critical thinking when it came to doing math. And this was reflected in the instruction as well as how we were being assessed. And while this really helps develop skills related to logic, I think it ignores other strengths that students like me might have held related to language and self-reflection. For a student like me who struggled a lot with remembering different rules and had really severe math anxiety, I feel like being able to express my understanding in different ways, whether it be through language or physical models, might have lessened the pressure when it came to taking large unit tests. And I think the reason why the term math anxiety is so specific to a certain subject is that most teachers assess understanding in math through recollection and application of specific rules that a student has learned. As a result, under high pressure assessments such as unit tests that cover such a wide range of content, it can be easy for a student to forget specific rules and cascade into a spiral of anxiety where they may not end up answering anything correctly due to stress. And as a result of understanding this interplay between language, self, and logic, I think I can better student outcomes through having this position and applying this theory of education in my instruction and remediation practices. Thank you very much.